Hello and namaste. Welcome back to my channel 𝗦𝗛𝗔𝗛 Stock Analyst, and this is Neeraj here. So you all must be wondering what I am going to talk about, whether India's banks are in trouble because of the financial crisis of the banks in US and Europe. So let me just illustrate some of this India's banks in trouble or not in this video, and what is we should sell bank stocks or what to do with the bank stocks. So as you know that in last 1 year, India's central bank, that is Reserve Bank of India, has increased interest rates by 225 bips, 225 basis points, means 2.25% they have increased. So 1 year before it was 4%, it has increased to now 6.25%, and further when on April 3rd the Reserve Bank of India's policy interest meeting will be there, they are expected to increase by another 25 bips, means ultimately to up to 6.5%. So even though this is all in line with all the central banks of the world, which they are all following US Fed, as I had kept on repeating in my many videos, that if you don't follow the US Fed, because if US Fed keeps on increasing rates, you are also bound to increase rates, otherwise you will not get any capital, means on foreign investment will not come, everything will go to US banks. When they get more money, interest rates in USA, why should they put money in India? So that is the reason that all banks has to also increase. Now at the same time, the loan growth of India's banks on an average grew by 16.5% in 1 year, if you look at the loan growth. So while there is a huge demand for loan growth, the banking system is flush with enough liquidity, and that is the reason deposit rates have increased by only 1.25 to 1.5%. Means what was the deposit rate? Suppose 1 year before, if on the fixed deposit banks were giving you 6%, right? So now they are giving you 7.5%. So like that way. So, but at the same time, if you look at the home loan rates and all these lending rates, so you will see that it has gone up by 2% on an average. So the bank rates for loan, if you go and ask for the loan, so what was 1 year before, you have to pay on an average 2% more than that, what was the 1 year before. So clearly the net interest margins of banks have increased, leading to increased interest rate income and profitability. Now, when we are witnessing problems all over the world, in the banks particularly, in India, it's not the same crisis, because banks have enough liquidity and there is much more huge demand for loan. So business is also growing because of the growing economy. But I believe that in next 1 year time, banks in India will also have to raise funds to meet the loan demand growth. Why? And also basically they will have to increase their capital. You have to maintain a certain capital ratio for the banks. That is a minimum requirement as per the RBI, Reserve Bank of India. So definitely that if you have to maintain with the increasing loan growth, you have to maintain that capital. That means you will have to raise funds also. So whether you raise it through the capital market by issuing shares, or also through the deposits by fixed deposit, and by, so how you can attract deposits. So that means you will have to increase deposit rates, means you offer more interest rates to the people so that you attract deposits to your bank. So now if we suppose in next 1 year, we see that now suppose if we see net interest margins of approximately 1.75%, then in next 1 year we may see that net interest margin would reduce to 1.5% or even 1.25% or less, because of you have to attract deposits. Because if you don't have money, if the bank don't have money, they can't lend it. So it will reduce the profitability and net interest income of the banks. So in this context, I would recommend from the purely from the stock market perspective that banking stocks are at peak, and it would make sense to book profits when banking stocks are at their peaks, as interest rate cycle will play out in next 1 year, and we may get the buying opportunity when the interest rate cycle effect bottoms out in the next 1 year. So this is what I would like to recommend, and I would like to share my thoughts with you. Before closing this video, I just request, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, you please subscribe, and if you have not yet if you like this video, you please like it, put a like and share it. And also I have a Telegram channel, 𝗦𝗛𝗷 Stock Analyst, for the daily ideas and views and different economics as well as the geopolitical news. You can subscribe to that channel, and for knowing about my professional services about investment and advisory consultancy services, you can log on to my website 𝗬𝗬𝗕𝗓𝗏.com and contact me from that. You will see all the information there. That's it from my side, and see you once again next week with some more unique ideas and unique perspective. Till that time, ciao from Neeraj from Moscow.